Good afternoon. For 4 News Now, I'm Rob King. Welcome to today's KXLY Plus Daily Rundown, where I'll take you through some of the top headlines of today and tell you what the team is working on. Our big story today, one of them, is going to be weather. We're looking forward to a weather alert weekend, 2 back-to-back weather alert days. So instead of having me butcher the weather, we're going to bring in a professional, 4 News Now's Matt Gray. Matt, thank you. How you doing?
Oh, you would have done fine, Rob. It's all good.
I appreciate that encouragement. Matt, let's just start with how do we determine as a meteorology team, as a news team, how do you guys determine a weather alert day?
Yeah, I really think it's about something that's impactful weather, of course, something that could impact your safety or just something that's a really big change, and that's what we're dealing with today. Not only is it something that, can be a little bit dangerous, cold weather if you're not fully prepared for it, but this is going to be a really, really sudden change as we go into the weekend. I mean, in Central Washington right now, it is sunny and in the 50s. So you can imagine when we're talking about some much colder weather than that, we're talking about Arctic air. That is quite the difference. So we want to make sure everybody's ready for it.
With the Arctic air, what are some of the hazards that come with that? I know we had a little bit of rain. We were expecting snow in some places. So how does that Arctic air create kind of a danger for people?
Well, the thing is, when it comes in, it's usually because the temperature difference is so great. It usually comes in with it doesn't come in slowly. It usually comes in with a bang. So we not only get some pretty cold air, but we also get some really gusty winds as well. And of course, that brings in the wind chill problem. And we've all been outside on a windy day and feel when it's really cold out, it feels like it takes your breath away. It's probably 10 times not as fun to be out in it than if it was just a calm, chilly day. We're going to get a little bit of both of that, right? We're actually going to see one day where it's very windy and we're definitely going to be feeling that wind chill. And then we're going to have some other days this weekend and then the beginning of next week where it's going to be calm. We're going to see some sun, and that's going to help kind of take away some of the feelings of that bitter cold that is going to be moving in.
Good. I know the sun was actually a nice surprise this morning when I woke up. I was like, oh, good.
I know. It's been great. Not everybody has gotten sun, unfortunately. It's still pretty cloudy in Coeur d'Alene, and most of North Idaho still kind of stuck under the clouds and seeing some snow up in the mountains. So not everybody's gotten the sun, but we're going to get there by the end of the weekend. Everybody will break out into some sunshine by the time we get to Sunday.
Right on. And can we expect another weather system as snow and rain for the weekend, or is it just going to be the cold?
So it's going to be mostly the cold as this Arctic front comes in, kind of the boundary there between the kind of nicer temperatures we have now and some of that colder Arctic air. That's going to come down tonight. And what we're going to see is probably a little bit of light snow out in front of that. I'm not expecting a whole lot, but it's likely that we'll at least see a little bit of snow across North Idaho, especially in the Panhandle, and just maybe some very light accumulations. Overall, I think it's going to be small potatoes compared to the cold weather.
Got it. And that is the kind of cold that you do need to bundle gloves, hats, scarves, all the good stuff, because that can cause issues that when you get into those sub-zero wind chill temperatures.
And that's exactly it. The wind is really the big thing here that we want to make sure that we highlight. And that's one of the reasons why we went to having Saturday as an alert day as well, because we went, man, it's going to be really windy. And even though our temperatures through the day are going to be hovering kind of in the 20s around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, which you don't really think too much of that, right? But we're talking about potentially seeing wind gusts about 30, maybe even 40 miles an hour in some cases, and that is really going to bring down those wind chills into the single digits above zero. So both days are actually going to feel pretty similar, even though one day is going to be windy and cloudy, and the other day is going to be calm and colder air and sunny. So it is going to be, they'll basically kind of feel the same. So that's why we've got 2 weather alert days this week.
Got it. Is this one of those weekends where you should probably just stay home?
Yeah, I think tomorrow is not going to be super pleasant to be palling around outside. So a nice book and staying inside is probably the best thing. I know the sunshine will make things feel a little bit better, but it is going to be pretty cold in the mornings on Sunday morning, and also on Monday morning it's going to feel pretty cold. So you just got to have those extra precautions if you're doing that.
Got it. And the 4 News Now weather team will have team coverage on this tonight at 5. We're bringing in Matt and Chris Crocker as well, so you'll get all the latest up-to-date information. Matt, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, so, we got snow or rain this morning, depending on your location. We got some wet roads out there. As the temperatures drop tonight, certainly a chance that we will start to see things really slicken up, especially on the side roads that don't get any of the treatment. And as we continue to see our temperatures drop, we get down to the 20s, and that de-icer suddenly becomes not as effective. And they got to switch over to sand, for example. So places that do get snow, and our mountain passes in North Idaho, which are still seeing snow right now, there's going to be some treacherous driving. So, yeah, you really got to take it easy as you go into tonight and Saturday as well.
We will. Matt, thank you. Everyone be safe. And Matt, thank you for joining me. Appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate it, Rob. Thank you.
Yep. Talk to you later.
All right.
And you can get all the latest up-to-date weather information on our website at KXLY.com, the new improved KXLY.com. We have a bright, big red weather alert banner right at the top, and that'll have all the important links that you'll need there. So we'll move right along into some of the top stories today, starting with out of Memphis, Tennessee. This is related to 29-year-old Tyree Nichols, who was involved in a traffic stop with Memphis police officers and hospitalized after a confrontation with the officers. He later died 3 days later. He was pulled over on January 7th and died on the 10th. Attorneys for the Nichols family say he died from injuries related to a severe beating, and all 5 of the involved officers have been fired from the police department and arrested, all facing second-degree murder charges as well as other crimes. Now, the video footage from that incident will be released later tonight, and we'll have the details available in 4 News Now at 5, and anything else that may come from that. This is a photo of the 5 police officers that were arrested again and fired for this incident, and do face second-degree murder charges. Moving along, Bronte Sorotsky is working on a story that's coming out of a piece of legislation in Olympia. Senate Bill 5435 and its House sibling bill is going to be looking at rent control. And what it'll do would stop landlords from raising rent more than the rate of inflation, so around 3 to 7%, and cap that. So today was just a public hearing testimony from both sides of this issue, people for and against, from tenants and landlords, and she'll be speaking with local tenants and landlords about where they feel on this issue and how it could impact people locally, as not only everything expensive, but rent now as well. 4 News Now, Jordan Smith, he was in court today, as the city of Spokane was in court today, and it looks like an agreement has been reached between the city and the operators of Camp Hope, Jules Helping Hands. So what the agreement means is that the city can't step in and immediately shut down the camp. This is going to provide protections for Camp Hope. Jules Helping Hands they're continuing their work to shrink the size of the camp and eventually close it down, but it has to go through the proper processes for that. And so now the city can't just come in and shut it down. And he'll have the breakdown of what happened in court today as well in 4 News Now at 5. So thank you for joining us in the KXLY Plus Daily Rundown. We'll have all these stories and more. And again, be sure to download KXLY Plus, where you can get 24/7 streaming news on your Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire Stick. Or you can also watch the stream on your 4 News Now app on your mobile device. But for now, live in the KXLY Plus Digital News Center, Rob King, 4 News Now.